Tonight on Ghana Connect, we will dissect the problem, provide solutions, and also find out whether it's time to reconsider our focus and resources. We connect after the break.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Chani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHS, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex Tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex Tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex Tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex Tank. Syntex Tank, stress-free. Syntex Tank, reliable. Syntex Tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense-paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Ghana's oldest insurance company. Truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Central University, Ghana's leading private Christian university, has open admissions. Apply now for a degree in environmental engineering, fashion design, landscape design, interior design, business administration, economics, law, nursing, civil engineering, architecture, computer science, IT, theology, PharmD, and many others. Degrees are available on our campuses in Mutual, ICGC Christ Temple, Abosokai, and Kumasi. Also enroll in our MBA with various specializations. Scholarships are available for needy but brilliant students. Call us on 0303 318 583 or visit our website at Central central.edu.gh for more information. Central University, raising transformational leaders through faith, integrity, and excellence.
Yes, now if you're driving home anywhere you find yourself, I want you to join me to sing the song. Now, I want you to sing this song with me because if you are 40 years and below, you probably have not seen really the Black Stars lift the African Cup of Nations trophy in your lifetime. Yes. That is because the last time the Black Stars won the AFCON trophy was in 1982, 42 years ago, yeah. The AFCON ultimate victory remains a mirage as we continue to chase it without success. Yesterday, Ghana played draw with Egypt just when we thought we were going to win, that game. And right about now, we are back with our calculators in hand, doing the calculations, checking to see if we're going to qualify to the next round of the competition. Tonight, we'll do a diagnosis of the problem, give our prescription, and also ask whether it's about time we channeled our resources and energy to another sports or perhaps maybe entertainment. Maybe that is what will bring us the glory. The Black Stars have failed to advance beyond the first round in the last two major competitions they participated in, exiting at the group stages of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in January 2022 and the 2022 World Cup in December of the same year. That run follows a round of 16 exits at the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt after a penalty shootout defeat to Tunisia. On Monday, we get to see our true size. When we play Mozambique, then we get to know whether we'll qualify to the next round of the 2023 AFCON. Tonight on Ghana Connect, connecting to do this discussion with me is the BBC's Daniel Dazi. He's a former colleague here and is one of the hosts of the BBC's AFCON special AFCON podcast show. He's connecting with us from the UK. Also connecting from Abidjan is Pelasco Jr. Pelasco is a big fan of the Black Stars and he traveled all the way to Côte d'Ivoire to support the Black Stars. Yes, he's joining us tonight. Also connecting from Abidjan is my colleague Muftau Nabila. Carla Olympio is a corporate lawyer and a fan of the Black Stars. She's also on the Independent Disciplinary Committee of the GFA, but she's here to speak in her capacity as a citizen and a spectator. Not a spectator, I should say. Andy.com is a sports journalist, commentator, and then a follower of the Black Stars. He is Ghanaian and is also connecting to share his views. My name is Maxwell Agbagba, and I'll be driving this conversation from the studio. Remember, you can be part of the conversation on 055 111 997. You can also connect with that 055 on WhatsApp 1111 997. 055 1111 997. And all our social media platforms. We'll be reading your messages later in the show. Let me go to my guest right now. Hello, gentlemen, lady. Welcome to Gonna Connect.
Hi, Maxwell.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you, Maxwell.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Hi, Maxwell.
Yes, great. So, Daniel Dazi, Muftau Nabila, Pelasco Jr., Carla Olympio, once again, welcome to the show. Let me start with you, Pelasco Jr. You traveled all the way to Abidjan to watch the Black Stars in the 2023 AFCON. You were at the stadium yesterday, I want to believe.
Yes, I was there.
What's your assessment of the game? Tell me what the feeling was like, at the stadium, the Houphouët-Boigny Stadium, yesterday when the Egyptians equalized, and we realized that we're going to go home with 1 point instead of the 3 points that we had all anticipated, at least after Kudus, scored that goal, that second goal. What was the feeling like in the stadium?
Well, first of all, good evening to listeners of Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, and good evening to all my people in Asante. Let me also say that I don't know, but it's like a dream come true. I feel like I'm dreaming, being on the same platform with you, Maxwell Agbagba, Daniel Dazi, one of my idols, and of course my senior man, Muftau Nabila, corporate lawyer, and also Andy.com. I am just blessed. I'm so happy.
It's a pleasure hosting you too.
Fantastic. Well, what I would say is that in a first game against Cape Verde, in fact, I did an interview. I granted an interview to a journalist that went viral. In the interview, I said I am only supporting the Black Stars because I am a Ghanaian, and if you are able to qualify, hallelujah. Yeah. Going into the match against Egypt, I think we shouldn't pretend. Yesterday, I was telling a friend when we were on the bus going to the stadium. In fact, nobody gave the Black Stars a dog chance. So I was very surprised after the match when we had 2-2 with Egypt. People were like, "Hey, we should have won the match. We should have done that. We should have done that." I was telling them that, Charlie, don't forget where you were coming from, where you came from. What you must know is that, look, you are playing against a side, Egyptian side, that when you are talking about the AFCON, they've won it 7 times. Most titles in the AFCON, Egypt. And then in terms of most appearances in the AFCON, it is Egypt 25 times. Most consecutive appearances in the AFCON since 1994, they've been here. They won it in 57 Sudan against Ethiopia, 59 in Egypt against Sudan, 86 in Egypt against Cameroon, 98 in Burkina against South Africa, 2006 in Egypt against the Ivorians. In 2008, they came to Ghana, won it against Cameroon. Remember, Cameroon, they eliminated Ghana in the semi-final, but Egypt beat them and won that particular cup. In 2010, they won it against the Black Stars of Ghana. You are talking about the Pharaohs of Egypt. Before yesterday's game, they had played 20 AFCON games in the group stages. Out of the 20 AFCON games in the group stages, they've been able to win 14, getting 5 draws, just a loss against Ghana. That in the last 5 matches in the AFCON, we are struggling to get a win.
Yeah. 2
draws and then 3 losses. So I was very surprised that after the match, people were like, we should have scored 3, we should have scored 4, scored whatever. Look, from my point of view, from my perspective point of view, I never gave the Black Stars that dog chance. I think that they did so well. The only thing is that the most painful thing about the whole thing is that getting a goal, then they will come and equalize. You score again, they will come and equal. That was the most unfortunate thing that happened. Apart from that, for me, I think the Black Stars did very well, because in the Cape Verde game, I really fight the play. I fight the play from the goalkeeper to the last man on the field. I think they didn't do well in the Cape Verde game, but with that of last night game, I think the Black Stars of Ghana did so well.
Interesting perspective from you. I don't know, but you're saying this because you watched the game. You know, many of us who watched on television, including me, were very disappointed. Let me find out from Carla. Carla, I'm sure you also watched the game on television.
Well, I put on the TV when I heard people screaming about the first match, and I put it off after the second equalization.
Oh.
But, I couldn't take the pressure. But I have to say, I'm 100% ad idem with the former speaker. Okay. I also thought to myself, now, when your producer called me to talk about this topic, I said, why are you calling me? I'm not a football expert.
Yeah.
But I always say, like with politics, I'm interested when Ghana is at stake. So as soon as our national team is playing, I'm invested.
Yeah.
And I may not be a football expert, but I also know that Egypt, if not the best team in Africa, is one of the best team in Africa. And I don't know Cape Verde to be a particular star in terms of African football. So when we lost to Cape Verde, I thought the Pharaohs were going to wipe the floor with Ghana. And when we scored 2, and as did many people I know didn't give us a chance. All of a sudden, we draw, and people are complaining up and down, silly mistakes that, we turn into 30, a nation of football pundits, experts, strategists, coaches. If we have so many experts in Ghana, we should be winning every single tournament. Let's have some humility.
I'm actually surprised that Pelasco and you, Carla, you seem satisfied with the performance of the Black Stars. You don't have a problem that that twice we surrendered that lead and allowed the Egyptians to equalize. We scored. They equalized. We scored. They equalized.
Ignore that part. Why do we ignore the part where we scored the goals? I was shocked.
But we could have
people.
Yeah, but Carla, we could have left the stadium with the 3 points in our basket, not at 1 point, and
we could have also left the stadium 6-0 against Egypt.
Interesting. Let me find out from Daniel Dazi. Daniel Dazi, like I mentioned, has been hosting a special podcast for the BBC on the AFCON. Daniel, I'm sure you also watched on television from the UK. Tell me, what was your assessment of the game? Carla, Pelasco are satisfied with the performance of the Black Stars. In fact, they didn't expect the Black Stars. They didn't see the Black Stars play the draw game with the Egyptians.
I'm going to make a brief correction there, Maxwell.
Yeah.
I'm co-host of the Africa Football Showdown with Peter Kochi and Mimi Fawaz, and it's by Africa Digital Audio.
Okay.
Or ADA Global, or ADA Productions. Pardon me. It's not a home of a BBC production.
Okay.
But I want to quickly zoom in on that game between Ghana and Egypt. Here's the point. Going into the game, yes, the stats did not favor us. The last time Ghana won against Egypt was 2013.
Yeah, 6-1.
And
I was at the stadium actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and Mohamed Salah was in the game.
Yeah.
Was in that game as well.
Yeah.
Egypt is 7-time winners of AFCON. They won it 3 times on a trot between 2006, 2010. They have history on their side. That's true. But the first half showed a different Ghana. The first half showed a Ghana that was possessing the ball, that was controlling the pace of the game, and that had individual brilliance in the person of Mohamed Kudus to convert half chances into goals, into a goal at least. And so that was clear. It looked like at the end of the first half, it looked like everything was going for Ghana. If we could have maintained
Your call has been put on hold. Please wait.
Sorry, Daniel. Daniel, go ahead.
No worries, Maxwell. If we could have maintained that momentum, we would have had those 3 points in the bag. And I think that's the complaint for most Ghanaians who watched that game closely. Let's tell the truth. The 2 goals, if you discount the goal that was ruled offside by Egypt, which was scored from a set piece, the 2 goals that Egypt managed were from 2 clear Ghana defensive blunders. And those blunders were not even made by defenders. They were made by strikers who had committed themselves, or forward-playing players who had committed themselves to the defense. So you have that unfortunate back pass by Naki Williams. He was playing it safe. The pass was too long. We lost it to the Egyptians. Osman Bukhari actually won the ball.
Your call has been put on hold.
A defender's instinct will be to quickly clear it for a corner kick or a throw in, but he was still running with the ball and he lost possession again in the dangerous 18-yard box, just a few meters out of the 6-yard box. So if you look, and even Mohamed Kudus himself, in an interview I was reading of him after the game, said that we considered those 2 goals because of mistakes we could have avoided.
Yeah.
And I paraphrase here.
Yeah, he didn't mince words. He actually said silly mistakes.
Exactly. And so if it was not for those two silly mistakes, we would have those 3 points in the bag. And I think that's the complaint for most Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Again, immediately after that first goal in the first half, we had Mohamed Salah go off for Egypt because of injury. He's a talisman for Egypt. He's not really come to the party as much as they would have expected for the AFCON. That's a different conversation. But he was not on the pitch. So we had everything to play for, and we lost a golden opportunity. It's true, I did not even give ourselves a dog's chance to win the game. I was hoping for a draw, which we have. But if you think about the fact that our draw against Egypt is akin to our loss against Cape Verde, which comes down to a lack of concentration in a crucial moment in the game, that's when you will wring your hands. At the moment, we are a product of our own mistakes. Unfortunately, that factoid may be extended. That statistic may be extended where we exit another major tournament in the group stage because Cape Verde has won against Mozambique. That's not the results we wanted.
Yeah.
I don't see us going into a final game, and I know we'll come there. I don't see us going into a final game hoping for Egypt to lose outright against Cape Verde, which has already qualified. And so we will not even expect them to field their best players against Egypt on Monday. So it's quite the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in. Yeah. I'm very, very saddened for the players who, in the game against Egypt, seem to give it their all. Even for Inaki and Bukhari, who made those mistakes, I will not necessarily put it on them. There were strikers who were trying to track back and play it safe, helping out in the defense. But it was just that lack of concentration that cost us those 3 points that we could have been smiling with at the moment, Maxwell.
Interesting perspective, Daniel. Let me go to Andy.com. Andy, you've heard from Daniel, you've heard from Pelasco, you've also heard from Carla. They seem satisfied with the performance of the Black Stars. Daniel ended there saying that he thought we did very well, but just that we lost concentration, at a point, and that contributed to us, conceding those 2 goals. Andy, I don't know what you make of the performance of the Black Stars yesterday, whether you also agree that, yes, we put up a great performance, that we conceded 2 goals, and that is why we are back with our calculators in hand, doing the football, calculations now.
Well, good evening, Maxwell, to you, and then my other colleagues on the show this evening. Maxwell, I am not even interested in looking at the performance of the Black Stars against Egypt. I am only interested in looking at what we didn't do right and then where we have now gotten to in such a way that we are now doing calculations.
Yeah.
Praying that Ghana will beat Mozambique before we qualify.
Really, it has been the case for every major tournament in recent times,
So, Maxwell, the question is, what did we do wrong? That is what we should be looking at. If we are not able to tackle the issue from the root, Maxwell, this is what is going to happen. If we are not able to tackle the issue as a country and try to solve it, Maxwell, I tell you, to get to a point in time, Ghana cannot play against South Sudan. It will get to a point, Ghana cannot play against Comoros Island. Even Comoros, as at now, we can't even play against them. If we are not able to tackle the issue and solve it as a country, it will get to a point in time, Maxwell, we can't play against Somalia. We don't have life to ourselves. We are losing the basics. We are losing everything as a sports nation, as one-time powerhouse of football. So for me, I think as a country, we should sit down and, think through, see how we can start and then go back to what we were doing right, what we were doing well, that we were performing at the World Stage, that we were performing at the African Cup, that we were winning African Cup, and what we are not doing right now. Now, Maxwell, if you look at the situation of Ghana Black Stars, Ghana would definitely qualify as one of the best third place teams. I'm telling you, because definitely Egypt is going to beat Cape Verde. So if Egypt beats Cape Verde, it means that Egypt is going to have 5 points. Comoros and Cape Verde has already qualified. They have 3 points. No matter what happens, they will be first in the group, and then they have already qualified. Now, if Egypt beats Cape Verde, they are going to get 5 points, and then they will be the 2 teams to qualify. And if we are able to beat Mozambique, it means that we would have to wait and then see if we are going to qualify as one of the best third place teams. Is that the level of Ghana, Maxwell?
The calculation
is that the level of Ghana? This is what we need to talk about. Now, things are not holding. We have politicized our Black Stars in such a way that now Black Star coaches are appointed from the government. And it is one of the major problems we are facing now. We have a situation whereby we have ESCO members at Ghana Football Association who have a quota in player selection. Most of the players there belong to agents who are in the Black Stars Management Committee. It's a non-fact, and nobody should run away from it. If we are not able to do things right, now, Maxwell, our Ghana Premier League, what is the level of our Ghana Premier League? When the Ghana Premier League was the Ghana Premier League, where Kumasi Asante Kotoko was being able to compete in Africa, where had to force its winning Champions League, you saw how the Black Stars was flourishing. At a point when we are going to tournaments like this, if nothing at all, the goalkeeping department are selected from Ghana. We had a lot of talent when it comes to goalkeeping. Now, look at what is happening. So if we don't go to the basics, I am not interested in what we are seeing now. I am not interested in Ghana drawing against Egypt. Do we have to rejoice about drawing with Egypt? A team that were able to beat 6-1 prior to the 2014 World Cup. I was there, and I heard you say you were there. I was in Kumasi.
Yeah.
One were able to beat Egypt 6-1. And now we draw with them, and then we think that, yes, we need to be happy. No. Maxwell, our football is gradually declining, and we need to sit down as a country. We need to tackle the problem as a country. If we don't do that, it will get to a point in time, as I've said, just mark it on the wall. In the next 2-3 years, if we don't do things well, it will be difficult for us to play against the likes of Somalia, South Sudan, and the rest. Maxwell.
Okay, Andy, hold on for me. Let's connect to Muftar Nabila, who is connecting from Abidjan. Muftar, you've heard from Andy.com. He says our football is on a decline, is on a downward spiral. We've become so mediocre that we are satisfied and happy with even a draw. You have an article about how there seems to be a decline in the quality of football that we play in Ghana. And I think that to be able to, provide the solutions to this problem, we need to do a proper diagnosis, of the situation that we have at hand. Then we'll be able to, to fix the problem. From where you stand and from where you sit, from your sports journalism lenses, what really is the problem with the Black Stars? I've heard some people say that, look, the issue starts even from our Colts League. The issue starts from our Inter-Schools League. The issue, starts with, football people, so-called football people, meddling, with the selection of players, just like Andy.com, mentioned. Muftar, what really is the problem?
Maxwell, first of all, do we admit that we have an issue that needs to be resolved? As a country, if we all agree that we have issues and we need to provide diagnosis to those issues, then every medical doctor will tell you that if they identify what is wrong with you, then the diagnosis is extremely easy. It's very easy for them to find the cure. But we feel that past glory should always be celebrated. Every single day we say we are 4 times African champions. Forgetting the fact that the last time Ghana won African Cup of Nations, which was 1982, Cameroon hadn't won one. Now they've come to win it 5 times. So what is that special thing that Cameroon FA did to chalk so much success on this stage, and Ghana has struggled. So I think it's a plethora of issues where everyone must accept that we have an issue, we have a challenge, we have a problem, and we need to come together as a unit to provide the answers. Trust me, I'm not sure the football people, let me put that in quotes.
Yeah, the so-called football people.
The football people, they are the people representing knowledge of football. I do not think that they are the only people who have got the knowledge when it comes to football. Every single person has got an idea about how they think football should be managed in this country. And sometimes one of the things I've always said is the fact that you need the managerial skill of people, not just because they're in football. Sometimes you hear people say that this guy knows absolutely nothing about football, but the person knows how to manage. So if I can manage a company, why can't I manage the Ghana Football Association? Because the Ghana Football Association is a company. So I believe that it's about time we re-strategize and restructure ourselves when it comes to the governance of football in Ghana. For instance, between 2019 and 2022, the Ghana Football Association was able to get about $4.85 million from FIFA. Not even a single dollar of that money went into infrastructure development or infrastructure project. A chunk of that money went into operational costs. The Comoros, everyone is talking about Comoros Island got similar amount. Guess how much they spent into infrastructure? About $2.5 million went into sporting infrastructure. Between 2016 and 2022, Ghana was due about almost $11 million from FIFA. We're able to access about $8.6 million of that money. What did we use it for? I believe that other people have come close to Ghana and they're now beating Ghana because there is the right investment in the right areas. Football is played on pitches. Take a look at the pitches we've got in Ghana. In fact, when these Black Stars were preparing for the African Cup of Nations, we all know where they want to come. And I feel that as a country, we've not had a deliberate plan as to how we want our football to go. And it's about time we find the right structures in terms of how football should be done.
Okay.
It's not just the people who are at the top, but we also need the people outside the football family to come in. You don't sit on the fence and say that they are football people. They should manage it. It is your emotions they are managing.
Yeah.
When the Black Stars loses, it's not only the football people who are sad. You and I are sad too. Maxwell.
Yeah. True. Let me find out from Carla. Carla, you've heard Muftau, Nabila. You've heard what he said. I want to find out from you what you also think, is the problem and how we can deal with it. Because there's some people who say that the problem starts from even our Codes League. The problem starts from the Ghana Premier League. It starts from the roots, and it's important for us to deal with that so that it wouldn't climb up to the top, to the senior national team level. What do you think is the problem with the Black Stars, Carla?
Well, look, like I said before, I'm not a technical football expert, and I'm not in a position to diagnose the problem on a granular level.
Yeah.
I do think, and it's been hinted at, that to a certain extent we are living on past glory. It reminds me of, the English and the European Champions League and the song "It's Coming Home," which started in 1990 something, where they sang 30 years of hurt, and I think now it's 60 years of hurt. And I think that we keep harking back. People are always disappointed and upset, and there's a sense of entitlement to a certain extent because they're thinking about the time when we were, champions back to back.
Yeah.
But like you said, that's 40 years ago. That is just not the situation now. Let's look at where we are today. And accept that that's where we are, and then deal with it from there, rather than expecting us to be current champions when that may not be the case. Now, that's not, of course, in every situation, with football, with everything else. Absolutely, you have to start from the beginning. You have to, invest. You have to train. You have to pay attention. You have to educate. You have to select the right people.
Yeah.
No doubt. But I think a fundamental problem is that our expectations are still stuck in 1970-something. Probably before a lot of us were born. And not today. So, what what is the real situation on the ground? Let's face the situation on the ground and accept where we are, and then we can deal with it. We can't keep living on past glory. But having said that, the Black Stars team may not do well, but I think the under-20s have been doing quite well. Didn't they win a tournament in fairly recently, 2019 or so?
Yeah.
So is it Ghana football as a whole that's in trouble? Or is it our main senior national team that's in trouble?
That brings us to another part of the conversation that we'll be having in the latter, parts of the discussion on whether it is about time we redirected our energies and resources, to focus on other teams, perhaps other areas like entertainment, because it looks like the Black Stars certainly is the pampered child in the room. We pump a lot of resources to the Black Stars, but they seem not to be bringing us the joy, the excitement that we are all yearning for. The glory.
It brings me joy. It brings me joy, Maxwell.
Oh, even when we lose?
Yesterday.
Even when we lose?
Maxwell.
No, when we lose, but...
Pelasco, I'll come to you. But let me find out. Let me find out from Daniel. Daniel, you are in the UK. There are a lot of Ghanaians in the UK. What's the conversation around the performance, of the Black Stars?
Disappointments galore, unfortunately. But Maxwell, I just want to introduce a certain perspective to the conversation that we are having currently. And I think that we need to be realistic as African countries in the way that sometimes we approach selection for our football team and what it takes to win and dominate tournaments. Currently, the two teams dominating African football are Senegal and Morocco.
Yeah.
If you take a deep dive at Morocco, out of Walid Regragui's 26-man squad that they presented for the World Cup, only 12 of them were born in Morocco. Ashraf Hakimi, Hakim Ziyech, who were the two top players as at the time they did that semi-final performance against in the World Cup, were both not born in Morocco. They're both people who could have played. I think Hakimi, I had it right in front of me, but I don't want to waste your time. I think Hakimi could have played in Netherlands or Spain. One of them would have played in Netherlands. One of them would have played in Spain. That's Hakimi and Ziyech.
Yeah.
Those are two things that we need to think about. Now, if you look at European football, when Cameroon was picking up African Cup of Nations, Samuel Eto'o was one of the best players in the world. When Morocco began dominating, Hakimi and Ziyech were some of the best players. They're playing in some of the best teams in the world. When Senegal began dominating, Sadio Mane was the top man for Liverpool. He had won every trophy possible for Liverpool FC. Compared to the quality that Ghana had from the 2006 World Cup, when we started showing up, how many Ghanaian-born players can we honestly say, or players of Ghanaian descent, can we honestly say were to the Abedi Pele level who won a Ballon d'Or? How many of those players that we had? If you look at our best midfield, the best midfield Ghana has showed that I have seen, that's Suleiman Tari, Michael Essien, Lai Kinson, and Stephen Appiah. Stephen Appiah was playing wonders in Italy. Michael Essien was moved to Chelsea. Mourinho took him to Real Madrid himself. Suleiman Tari was a box-to-box total complete player. And Lai Kinson unfortunately missed out on the 2006 World Cup. These were the guys who were playing at the top of their game. We haven't had players of that quality for about a decade. Yes, you can make a point that Muftar Nabila is making, that it's coming from our culture and how we nurture the players when we were young and what have you. All that is true, but realistically, even if you look at our good points against Egypt, it came from a certain player who is the top man for West Ham United. That's Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah.
And we have to be realistic about these things. The time that Egypt won 3 AFCONs in a row, Mohamed Abutrika was the best player in Africa. He was winning African best player over, in some cases, if my memory serves me well, over players like Didier Drogba. Even that Ivory Coast team that had Gervinho, that had Yaya Toure, that had Didier Drogba, they could not win an AFCON. One of their best performances was that final against Nigeria, if my memory serves me well, in South Africa. So we need to really look at what we have and ask ourselves, what kind of coach do we have that can put everything together? That's why my complaint was against Chris Hughton in the first game. I feel like if we had gone into the Cape Verde game with a strategy that we went into the Egypt game with, we'll be having a totally different conversation. But the reality is that there's a certain level of quality that players are showing. Look at this AFCON that we are watching currently. Senegal won their first game 3-0. Morocco won their first game 3-0. Nigeria is struggling. Why? Victor Osimhen is not as in form and is not playing the same position that he was playing when he's in Napoli. And we have teams like Tunisia falling off. We have teams like Ivory Coast who are not playing as well as you would expect, even though they're a host nation. We have to be realistic in looking at some of those things. What quality are you bringing? If we don't have, I feel like, for instance, if we had maybe an Eddie Nketiah who plays for Arsenal coming back to play for Ghana, that could have been a different story. But which current player can we say that he's going to come from wherever he is and come and play for Ghana like Hakim Ziyech is playing for Morocco or like Ashraf Hakimi is playing for Morocco? It's just not there, Maxwell. Let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic. Daniel Dazi, Michael Papaniashale is in the studio, and it's time for us to hear your views on social media. Okay, Michael Papaniashale, it's here. Michael,
Agbagba, I
understand
what you're going through. I mean, yesterday I refrained from watching the game because I didn't want to go through the emotional phases, the
emotional roller coaster,
the mania phase when you are happy, Ghana is go up, and then you are sad. I mean, at that time I was reading headlines, so I was waiting to change my headline. At 8 p.m. I changed my headline. 9 p.m. I wrote, Ghana stinks Egypt.
Yeah. And
then I was waiting to repeat the same headline, and then Egypt equalizes. Yeah. And then Ghana goes a game up. Then I say, you know what? Let me not keep it. Let me change it. I changed my headline that, okay, Ghana defeats the Pharaohs.
Yeah.
Oh, little did I know.
Charlie.
Little did I know.
The boys were just playing with our emotions, man.
So certainly I didn't want to watch the game. But like many of you who have, you have been sharing your thoughts with us on social media.
Yeah.
Let's go to North Kaneshi where Edem Lachu is connected with us. He says, we ought to have won that match because this team, except for Kudus, Jordan, Jiku and Ashimero, is uninspiring, unambitious, lacks character. We couldn't win. Football nowadays, don't watch big names. That's what he's telling us. Now let's go to all the way in Morocco. Kabi Daniel is connecting with us and says that why blame Bukari and Inaki? The team lacks interpositional knowledge. I'm not sure I understand what that is. I'm not a football person. Seriously, the one to blame is Jordan because he always fall down and slow the game anytime they build an attack. Well, that's what he's saying. This one says that from Kumasi says the negative speech among Ghanaians are too much. The moment somebody or something fails in Ghana, the general comment are insults, curses, and negative speeches. These are some of the factors Ghana is not doing well, and not to say that things are well in the country. This is from Kweju. Though Kweju, thank you very much. So, final one here. Let's go to the Upper West region. It says, for me, the only way the Black Stars can ever win the African Cup again may be to privatize the team. Our team is politicized, where players and supporters are selected based on which party one belongs. If players are selected based, but these are not things that we can independently confirm. But
yeah,
the state of the Black Stars in some time now, gives people room to say some of the things that they say. But thank you very much for your message there. But
okay,
Maxwell, maybe privatization is the way to go. So we can buy shares in the Black Stars.
You just heard from Michael Papaniashale, bringing us your comments from social media. Let's go back to our guest. Let me start off. Let me continue with you, Pelasco. Pelasco, you were about to make a point. We just have 8 minutes to run out of the studio. We've talked about the problems. We've diagnosed what it is, what the problem is. Now let's give the prescription. Let's give the medication that would solve the problem. What do you think is the solution to the current form of the Black Stars? What many have described as a decline in performance. Many say that our performance, the quality of our performance, really is on a downward spiral. Pelasco. What do you think is the solution to this? Okay, if I don't have Pelasco, let me go to Andy.com. Andy.com.
Yeah.
Andy, you've talked about the problem. So what is the solution?
Yes, Maxwell, I think that solution one, we need to go back to the basics. And back to the basics means that we need to take a critical look at our coach football. Because some of these players we mentioned who played so well for the Black Stars, if you check their background, most of them came from the coast. The likes of Abedi Ayew Pele, Asamoah Sule Muntari, Seven Apia, and the rest. If you check their background, most of them played from the coast. Those who didn't play during the coast level came from the school system, what we call intercore, and the rest. Some of them came from there. We should go there. We should go back to that level, try to unearth the talent from there. And then also, we also need to look at infrastructure development. In fact, our infrastructure development in this country, when it comes to sports, is very bad. As I'm talking to you now, look at the Accra Sports Stadium, look at Kumasi Sports Stadium, Cape Coast Sports Stadium. They all don't meet the standard. So if we say we are a football nation and we don't have the infrastructure, it is the infrastructure that you use to develop the players. So if you don't have, are you going to go to this? Go to KZ, go to Gambia, go to Mali, and see the kind of infrastructure they are putting up. It tells you that if you invest in infrastructure, definitely you get the answer or you get the right decision up there. And also, Maxwell, we need to stop the politics. You know, you were saying something that there are some of the issues that you can't confirm, but some of us here know about it, and then we can confirm. The appointment of the Black Stars coach, we know where it came from. And the politicization in the player selection, it is all there. So if we don't stop this and do the right thing, our football will still remain as where it is. And then, Maxwell, lastly, we should try and then orient this current Black Stars. Any player we bring into the Black Stars, we need to orient them, because it looks like some of the players, when they are playing, they don't know what exactly Ghanaians go through. They don't know what people go through if the Black Stars loses. They don't know if what Ghanaians go through if the Black Stars does not win. I think that we need to orient them very well to also know that when they lose, when they don't play well, it affects some of Ghanaians. And Maxwell, we should look at we should look at how we do things. As I'm talking to you now, Maxwell, the last time I heard the spokesperson for the Ministry of was that
Andy, 30 seconds, yeah.
All right, he does not know the budget we are taking for AFCON, and so the budget is in progress. So when they come from AFCON, they will come and then account to Ghanaians. Which serious country will do this? I think that we need to visit the bases. When we do that, our football will go back to where it belongs to Maxwell.
Okay, great. Thank you, Andy. Andy, 10 seconds. What's your prediction for the Mozambique game? What's your prediction? Yeah. Do you think we're going to move on to the next round of the competition?
Definitely. If you look at how Mozambique played today against Cape Verde, we should be able to beat them to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Maxwell.
8-0?
I think 2-1, 2-0 will be okay.
2-0 should be okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pelasco, I'll come to you. But Daniel wants to make a point. So let me take his final comments. Daniel?
Okay.
Daniel?
Sorry, Maxwell, my hand was still up from the previous comment. I'll just give my Morocco prediction, my Mozambique prediction. I think that will win, but it's going to be very tough for Egypt to lose against Cape Verde. So our hope now is that we're going to qualify as a third place team. There are 4 spaces for third place teams in this tournament. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It's not what we want to hear, but that's the reality currently. I hope we win. We qualify for the sake of Mohamed Kudus because he has 2 goals. He's now on goal king.
Individual efforts,
surprises.
Okay, thank you, Daniel Dazi. And Pelasco Jr.
Yeah, Maxwell, just 30 seconds. I wanted to do a lot of proper diagnosis of the problem, how they can be fixed. But I think time is not on our side.
Yeah, so we're moving on to the solution, because, and then your prediction. 30 seconds, please. Yeah.
30 seconds. I think one of the things that we should also start doing is we should start looking at is how to improve our local league. Because when you look at the team that qualified us for the 2006 World Cup, our first World Cup, we talk of players like Samir J, goalkeeper, was before he left, he had played for Hartlepool, Jojo, Kinfesa, Kotoko, Kinsey Great Olympic, John Mensah, who had played for Ashanti Gold, Samuel Seku for Kinfesa, Kotoko, and Issa Med, Kotoko, Silla, and yes, they were all part of that World Cup to Dankwe for Hartlepool, Michael Essien, who had played for Liberty Professional before leaving.
Pelasco, your prediction, Ghana, Mozambique, Monday, are we qualifying for the next round? Are we qualified for the next round?
It shouldn't be less than 2 goals. I think
we'll score
part of the best third-place teams.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you, Pelasco, Junior. Now let me come to you, Carla. Carla, what's your prediction for the game against Mozambique? Are we winning?
So Maxwell, sometimes I listen to the opinions, and it reminds me of what Mike Tyson famously says: everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's the Black Stars that are getting punched in the face all the time. So unlike what it seems to be every single man in Ghana over the age of 13, I'm not prescribing any answers, nor do I have a prediction. I just have a message for the boys. We're behind you. We believe in you. We love you. Win or fail, but preferably win.
Win or fail, but preferably win. And let me come to you, Mufsal.
I'll predict after the match.
Oh, you predict after the match. Okay.
But seriously speaking, Ghana will win. I am very confident. I was just speaking to some members of the technical team. Like Kala mentioned, everyone has a plan until you're punched in the face. But I'm very confident that this team will turn up on Monday and they'll secure a win.
Okay. Thank you very much, Muftau Nabila. I have this one here from Notedia. Notedia says that the boys were scattered, dejected, compared with the Egyptians who were huddled together and focusing. He continues to say that the back pass needed more pace, awareness, would have picked up the Egyptian or a teammates would have called out. We've got an uphill task. Thank you, Notedia, for doing the listeners, the host of Ultimate Health. But you had Daniel Dazi. Daniel Dazi works with the BBC. You also had Carla Olympio. Carla is a corporate lawyer and a fan of the Black Stars. You had Andy.com, he's a sports journalist and a commentator. You also had Pelasco Jr. He connected with us from Abidjan. You had Muftau Nabila, my colleague who is also at Abidjan, who connected with us from Abidjan. My name is Maxwell Agbagba. Show was ably produced by Michael Papani Ashele. Once again, as you're driving home, wherever you find yourself,